Hey folks, well we're back. It's been, kind of hectic holidays. I didn't really get anything up on the video or the channel sheet for last couple months, I guess. Even I guess since SEMA getting back. So um, I did a quick couple videos, like maybe 30 seconds. I'll play these here in a second. And it was basically getting the truck up to the dyno. So let me get those two up so you can see how that went down. Just short video and then a dyno pull. So stand by for that. All right, folks. So it's been a bit from SEMA, but we're back on the road again, and we took another 2-hour trip up towards Nashville, and we're at DBR Performance. And we are going after E85 in the XTF truck. So stand by for that. And I know it's been a little while, but Turkey and all that stuff kind of got in the way. So yep, this is a nice facility. They got hub dyno, which is nice. So I don't have to change out the rims and tires and everything to put it up on the rollers. So we'll see. We're gonna verify the numbers on pump gas and then jump over to E85 and put the coals to it. So stand by. All right, folks, we're over at DBR Performance, checking on the truck. It's been up here for about a week and a half between PRI, so a little delayed. Just snuck in, see where they're at on the truck, and it appears it's on the dyno, and they have done a diagnostic test hit just to make sure the truck is happy, the dyno's set up, everything's good, and we're getting all readings. So yeah, they only took it up to about 5,000 RPM, and it's looking good. So stand by. We'll get you some more updates. Let me throw up some pics here, and we're going to try and get some video here in a second. All right, so then I guess we picked up the truck. It was right after PRI, I guess. Few things we found. Spark plug gaps needed were wrong. I had them up just a little bit too much, and then map sensor failed, which was interesting. It didn't fail all the way. It was just off a little bit at idle, and then in cruise. So that we didn't make a mess of things, we went ahead and changed that. DBR went through the entire truck. It was pretty good, all in all. Did all the drivability stuff, and they really do have a niche for high horsepower street driving cars. So it's pretty cool. Got it back. I've been chasing an oil leak basically since we went out to SEMA. It's going through, I'd say, a little bit more than I would call average oil consumption. Basically I'm putting basically a quart of oil every other or three, maybe half a quart to a quart every other tank or something like that. And I've been searching around looking. I've got engine dye in the oil right now, so we can look at it. It's definitely leaking externally, and it turns out it looks like it's leaking directly out of the oil pan. And I guess Ford has had some issues with those plastic pans leaking or seeping through the composite that they've got in there. So I've got a Canton race pan on the way. And I'll go ahead and weld in some bungs for the oil return from the turbo. So that's going to be a trick to get done in the truck with the diff in there, front diff and all that stuff. I hope I can do it in the truck. If not, I guess I'll be pulling the motor again. So that'll be, I don't know, the second or third time we've had to pull it, which won't be too bad given the way we can take the whole front of the truck off and just work that way. But let's see, what else have I done? Let me turn this around real quick. Okay, well, I did clean the garage anyway, not truck related. And then I did a full cleanup on the tools. Christmas, I got 2 nice toolboxes. Here's the new, hopefully I get this right. So this is the new Canton windage tray with integral pickup tube for the 18 and up Coyote. So that's going to be nice. It definitely helps, I think, so you don't have to like re-weld the tube, or they make some of the other companies make some. It's kind of pricey to do it, I think, this way versus the other way, but I mean, it's all designed to work together, and I didn't really want to use another plastic pan. The only thing I guess I don't like about this right out of the bag, I guess, is that there's no gasket that gets supplied with this, so you got to use that like Honda Bond on this. So this came right away. The pan itself has been back ordered for over a month. It just got pushed back another 2 weeks. So end of the month, January, I guess I'll just be putting oil into the truck anyway. But yeah, I got 2 of these general toolboxes. Basically cleaned up my mess that was over there, and everything's in one, and now I can just wheel this guy around. It's got all the normal sockets and wrenches and all the, you know, normal everyday use, constant use items. So this is definitely movable. And then this workbench for everything else, diagnostic tools, torque wrenches, stuff like that. Anyway, that's enough of that. So let's go out to the truck. So truck is been driven quite a bit since we've been back from SEMA the last couple months, closing out the new year. So New Year's Eve tonight, we'll probably go out partying, I guess, a little bit. Big news is I finally did get the tonneau cover from the stock truck in there, so that now I can use it as I was using it before, which is very cool. All I had to do was I basically cut 0.35 inches off each side, and that was to accommodate for a different securing system than the OEM truck, because if you recall, on the OEM truck there's like a lip with like a catch that goes underneath, and I don't have that option with these 90-degree aluminum panels. So it's basically I've got a little small 90 here for right now temporarily, but it's I don't know if you can see that very well. There's a rail. It's a 1 inch, a 3/4 inch 90 right there that runs the length, and it secures on these clasps, and it seems like it works pretty well, and goes down there pretty nice, and then gets, you know, secured and down. So, and then the only other thing I had to deal with is this edge right here to make sure. So basically what happens is I left this long with an edge, and I think Factory 5 wants you to like cut this flush, but I had figured that when we went to go put this on, I was going to need that extra inch or so, and I'm glad I did that, because there's my hockey gear in there finally. When it closes, now I've got just enough overlap. Had I cut it, it would be, you know, basically I'd have a gap right here. So, and there isn't much room in the front to actually slide it back. But I got it all set up, so there's definitely some overlap right in here. So it's sort of waterproof, but I mean, it's gonna get wet in there, but it's definitely securable now, and I can leave my hockey gear in there, and it won't get taken, or shouldn't get taken. So yeah, so that's it for that part of it. I still gotta go do some towing. I was gonna do that today, but I got a little distracted on some other stuff, and as that happened, we're gonna push it off to probably like next weekend. So anyway, let me show you what else we got. Stand by. Okay, so all locked. All right, so not too much has changed in here. You know, before SEMA, you saw I had the big display. The big thing that's changed is I changed the shifter. Hopefully you can get a good look at it. It's all billet B&M shifter. Basically, you've got the up and down selections for the gearing, and then the mode select is back here. So it retains the same functionality, but it's a little bit more racy. The other thing I did was I went ahead, let me see if I can collapse this a little bit. I went ahead and purchased a new steering wheel. My other one was kind of beat up. So while I was doing all of that, I decided, well, if you're gonna upgrade or change it, they might as well upgrade it. So it's the Raptor with the paddle shift. This truck did not have paddle shift before. It does now. I think Grey Goose is who I bought the adapter for, and basically you run a wire. It's an intercept wire that goes from the back of the clock spring piece back here, and basically intercepts down here where this functionality goes. There's a plug that's down here. They run 2 wires up, I thought, or 4, and then I think it's 4, and that gives you the functionality of the paddle shifters. So they work just like you would expect. The other thing I've been messing around with, I wanted to get, you know, with high horsepower, I wanted to get something a little bit more accurate than the gauges that come with the truck, but I didn't want to change a lot, you know, beyond the OEM look. I wanted to basically look sleeper inside, other than my boost controller, and we can talk a little bit about that after we get done in here. So Autometer, I don't know if you're all tracking, I didn't know they were doing this, but they have down here, let's see if you can see it, but it's on there. It's basically an OBD2 reader that picks up all the PIDs from the truck ECU. And here, let me show you what that looks like as it boots up, and it's called DashLink. So I've got my little shortcut up here. So when I turn that on, it goes ahead and starts connecting. You can set it up so it, you know, it does this all automatically behind the screen, you know, behind the scenes. I was noticing some issues with, not with the data DashLink so much, but with this interface with the Google interface. I'm not sure. I got a couple shutdown alerts, so basically I'm leaving it off all the time until I'm getting ready to use it. But it gives you some interesting displays. Right off the bat, you can set up all sorts of different displays, gauges, just by type. And you can change these from phantom gauges to the ultralight gauges, and then I've got the cobalts for a lot of them except for this top one, because I wanted, you can set the alerts so this will flash if it gets, and this is oil pressure, but I got oil pressure and actual water temperature, air fuel, a redundant fuel level, and then volts. But you could choose whatever you want. So for example, if I wanted to edit and then down here add a gauge, you know, I can add in here. So you can add Autometer Elite, Cobalt, Phantom, Ultralight, and then the Sport Comp so you don't have to go buy a bunch of gauges. You buy it once, and it's about the price of, you know, one of their tacks. I think it's like 200 and something bucks, and you get all the other gauges along with it. The nice thing about this, so I can show you what we did with this. So I tap on that, edit gauge. You can set all the warning levels and the colors that you want them to all come on, and then under the PIDs, this is where you're going into the ECU where you would for like HP tuners, and you can take a look at all of the PIDs that are available to you, and you can make custom gauges based on that. So it's actually pretty neat. I've been using it quite a bit, mainly because I wanted to see what oil pressure was doing on the dyno, and I wanted to see what was going on with actual water temperature, because right now all I have is an idiot gauge, and basically in the middle is anywhere between 180, 190 and like 210. So a little bit more accurate here. The other nice thing, and I'm not trying to sell this, I just thought it was kind of interesting. You can actually do all your vehicle diagnostics and, read all your trouble codes and then clear your codes. I still have some codes for my rear O2 sensors that I got to get taken care of. And then let's see what else. It's got a bunch of other stuff in here. You've got dashboards, and then under the dashboards you got several additional screens: RPM, acceleration, boost, power, torque. So it gives you a theoretical horsepower and torque based on how your engine's doing. It can also do all of your fuel tracking as well as a master overview of your engine performance, to include like what your average and max boost is, how your braking in G's, your fuel flow, pretty in depth really. And then you got a quick gauge here where you can just take a look at, I don't have a MAF, it's inferred MAF, but I can look at fuel pressure on the rail, intake temperature. If I want to swap that to ambient, I can do that. Map, load, back to map. Coolant you can't change. And then you can take a look at your timing up here. It also has a data log capability here, so if you wanted to record, you could record up here. It's pretty neat actually. And then this dashboard here, it's supposed to, I'm not really sure how this one works, but it's meant for your standard transmission, so I really didn't mess with it too much. And I still have to put, like, you have to tell the ECU what size tank you have, so you can enable the rest of this. I just did a full master reset on this on the unit itself, so I have to go back and put all the parameters back in. But yeah, overall this whole situation here is pretty, I'm digging it. You also have a performance. This is like your 0 to 60 calculator and whatnot. This is like your draggy. I'm not sure how accurate it is. I haven't really played with it too much, but it has that ability in there as well, and it's got your start stop, and you can share through Facebook or whatever, do all that stuff. I haven't really played with the rest of it. I'm sure there's more that I haven't even covered, but I only really needed a oil pressure gauge, and this is what I ended up with. So everything else I'm just kind of picking up as I get bored with it. Yeah, so other than that, not too much else is going on. Stand by. My wife just shut me out of the garage. So I've got a few things left to do on the truck. Like I said, we'll do the towing probably next week at some point. I need to take a look at that, get the shocks and everything set up for that. There's also, I don't know if you saw in the video, let's see if I can get out here, but there was like some smoke coming out of, you know, the side here. I've got my breather underneath the passenger side door. So I'm going to end up moving that more towards the rear of the truck. So it kind of gets picked up with all the air going by the truck and out by the exhaust and all that stuff. So it doesn't circle back into the cabin. You know, the ring gaps being that large for the boost is definitely you can't have both, right? You can either have, you know, safe ring gaps for high horsepower or, you know, very little blow by. So it's just a balance, I guess. The DBR folks left the truck on the E9 or E85 tune. Oh, and I didn't cover the boost gauge, but basically that boost gauge allows me to tune boost anywhere between basically 10 psi and 20 psi. I can go more than 20, but that we tuned up to 20 psi on E85. He left it at 15 for me, and when I drove it home, it was basically it was a handful, I would say. It's definitely making all of that 1,000 horsepower. I think at 15, it was already making 940 or something like that. Real close to 900 to the ground. So real impressed with the truck. It drives so nice. The DBR folks had nothing but accolades about the ride. It was nice to hear somebody else who finally drove the truck and actually he was expecting it to be a lot rougher or more, either rougher and less in the road, given the way the suspension looked for off-roading. But with the extra suspension pieces, panhard bar, he's like, it drove more like a car. He really enjoyed it. So other than that, guys, that's about it, or in gals. I will try and do better about getting the weekly updates. Probably won't make every week, right? So we don't have a lot of content to add, and I'm not just going to waste everybody's time. I'll get, when I think the 19th of January is when the pan hits for the engine, so we'll probably pick back up then, and then slowly start to ramp up after this new year. I've got another build starting in March, so that should be good. It's no secret, it's going to be another Gen 3 Daytona Coupe from Factory 5. So that's going to be a all-out street car. I think it's just going to be a naturally aspirated 5.0 for a change. So we'll see how that goes, and we'll do a full build update on that. That'll be weekly and you know, continuous on that. So we'll be ramping back up for that. So for now, 2024 has been fantastic. Or I'm sorry, 2023 has been fantastic. Getting ready for a fantastic 2024. Hope you guys enjoyed all the content for this year. Really thank everybody for getting me to over 1,000 subscribers. That was awesome. SEMA was great, and hope you really enjoyed the build. And like I said, we're not going away, so we'll be around, and I guess we'll see you next year. Take care.